Tina, you get a 10-minute warning also.
I know, but I don't see it. I miss it. It just
Okay.
I need help.
I'll be responsible,
I was about to
Tina.
say, one of us can tell you.
A good leader asks for help when they need it. So,
Right.
Oh no, you did not go there.
Got it.
okay, Sarah's coming. She's just got to get her kids in the bed. Okay, so this is our official first call. So what I want to know is from last week, how many of you went ahead and got your notebook started and started making any of your contacts? Somebody tell us how that went. I want to know how it went.
Are you talking to me?
Anybody?
Mary, go ahead.
Okay. Got my notebook started, made a few contacts for that had told me to call them back. When we did our blitz, our booking blitz before, I contacted the people who had said, okay, but wait until after school's out. So a couple are interested, but I haven't gotten anybody firm yet. I'm really having trouble booking the rest of this month, a lot.
Okay. Let's address that real quick, because I'm just going to be honest. We always talk about how you take your obstacles and turn those into reasons why people might want to host a show or sign up or whatever. But the truth is, the end of the school year just gets a little crazy for people. You know, if you have kids, even if they're not graduating and they're just at the end of the school year, then it gets really busy for people. There's a lot of stuff going on, end of the year programs, and then there are graduations that even if you don't have kids graduating, you may be invited to some of those. What I would say to that, and we're going to open it up for some other suggestions as well, is everybody does not have kids in school and are not invited to graduations, and everyone is not affected by that. So we hear a very realistic obstacle like that, but we cannot let that take over everything. And we just have to know that everyone's not affected by this, and I just have to keep asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other
suggestion is that one, in times like that where it may be tougher to get folks to book, is I always host one in my own home. Host a party in my own home, and now with the addition of virtual parties, it can be a great reason for someone to do a virtual party. It's like, oh, okay, I get it, yeah, and so we can do a virtual party for an hour, or it can be if you do a 7-day, if you do a 7-day or a 5-day or 3-day, whatever that looks like, is that you do those if you're not going live at a particular time. My virtual parties are a little bit different than others on this Zoom meeting. So Nella, I want to bite. Anyway, is virtual parties, offering virtual parties, and quite honestly, I target people who are older. Because they don't have young kids that are, chances are they may have a grandchild or something like that, but they may not. So I will honestly target older repeat hostesses and things like that. And people that have booked in May of last year. Now, I get, Mary, you haven't been in that long, right? And so is, in your situation, the other three would be helpful, is host one in your own home, virtual parties, or target an older crowd. And you may have an opportunity to be to get some hostesses who are interested.
And Mary,
the key is persistency, just not giving up and just continuing to ask. And we're going to talk about out and about recruiting tonight, and just continuing to do those things over and over. And you will find, times, little sweet spots where you're just reaping, more from your works there. But asking enough, you will inevitably get where you want to be. Anybody else?
Mary, I just wanted to add one more thing. With the Help Web Cancer products, you could always do the challenge on your Facebook too and see if you could add some of those additional help.
Yep.
I did that and I didn't get anything from it.
Sometimes you do, and sometimes that's why we throw everything out there. I have a feeling like Kim and Summer have something going on. I can just see these little friends on Facebook. I can see it. You're going to have to share that entertaining stuff with us all.
I did. Now, one thing I did do is with the homework last week and all was I did go back and like look at my launch list again and even redo it again. Just because.
That's a great idea, Mary. Freshen it up.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. If you take the amount of shows that you have done and the orders per show that you have had so far, Mary, let's say it's 10 shows. I could pull it up real quick, but it's not here right now. It's like let's say 10 shows and you've had 8 orders at those shows. That's 80 people right there. That's 80 people right there. That even if you got a handful of those to say yes to a party, you are well above and beyond. Does that make sense? So, and those may be people that weren't on your initial launch list, and you may not have thought of, and it's time to do a customer care call. We may be getting into that now a little bit later on, but anyway, customer care call for those folks is another way. And I would challenge everybody to go back and look at your number of shows that you've done and how many orders per show you have and multiply that. And there's X number of leads right there that you can go back and funnel through and do a customer care call. Does everybody know what a customer care call is? Courtney may not.
No, I don't.
I didn't think so.
Well, let's go into detail at customer care when we talk about our script, because that's a perfect place to drop that in there.
Yep.
Okay, so with the Director Bound program, officially this week, you're going to start your notebook and recording exactly who you've contacted. Remember, we talked about old business and new business. Some of you may have already done that since we talked a couple of weeks ago. Does anybody have that? Okay. All the details are on the Director Bound program on the website. You can go to Training and Resources, Director Bound program, and then when you look to the right of the screen, you will be able to click on that and get the outline of that. But remember, of course, we can call people who were on those lists, Mary, and we can call people who we've talked to before, but it's so important to get fresh, new leads and to be calling new people. And people who were at your shows are perfect ones to call and follow up with. And like Kim said, when you're doing customer care, that's really customer service that may or may not lead into future bookings or business, but it's always good practice to provide good customer service. But so keeping fresh new leads are very important, and keeping up with those ratios. How many people did I talk to? How many bookings did I get? Is important. To me, the biggest.
We want to welcome you guys.
Well, that was weird.
Yeah, it was. To me.
I'm sorry, that was my.
To me, the biggest benefit of that is because so often we think, I just don't get any bookings. I can't get any bookings. And then when we keep track, we realize, well, wait a minute, I've only asked 2 people. So that's the biggest benefit, is to yourself to know that you truly are asking people. And then we also want to talk about what we're saying to these people, because we really want to be offering them the opportunity to host a show, right? Either cooking or virtual, preferably cooking in the Director Bound program, so we can just connect a little bit more. We're not discounting virtual. I've learned way too much to discount a virtual party. But if possible, we really love to see the cooking shows as well. And then also asking people, if they're interested in the business. Because I want you to think about something for a minute. The reason we're talking about booking a certain number of parties and getting a certain number of people at the parties is so we're in front of enough people to offer the opportunity to, right?
Right.
So what we don't want to do is just skip completely over asking if they're interested in the opportunity when we're making these contacts. We could have just jumped right in and snatched a recruit just making these contact calls. So I would love some other perspectives on this, but personally, if I know I'm going to ask both, I prefer to jump into the business first. Business is going great right now. There's lots of new avenues for earning income with Pampered Chef. I would love to talk to you about it a little bit. I'm looking to grow my team. I thought of you. I would love to just take about 30 minutes and just go over some information and give you an opportunity to ask any questions. Would you like to talk with me? And so if they say no, thank you, but I'm just not interested, then say, well, how about just hosting a party? Would you like to earn some free products? In my brain, that makes more sense than saying, do you want to have a party? And they say no. And then you say, oh, you don't want to have a party. Do you want to sign up? So any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's kind of like a full service, what we would call a full service checkout over the phone.
Right. Exactly.
Just think of it that way.
Yes. So even though it's not in the Pampered Chef script that is available on that training, I encourage you all to work that in there first and, offer that opportunity right up front. And you're not going to get, a lot of yeses on that, but you may be surprised when somebody just steps up and says, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'd like to learn more about that. Mary?
Would you type that up or write that out just so, because I can't write that fast and my notes sometimes later don't make sense.
Sure.
I think it's written like that in the customer care call script on
is it?
Consultants Corner. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is
I'm
it
like
in the
90%
one
sure.
that
I've got one printed out on my desk and it's from Consultants Corner and it's almost verbatim what you just said.
Oh, okay. The one that is in the Director Bound program, it just says standard booking script, and I don't really see it on there. But
yeah, it's not that one. It's called.
I'm sure they're.
It's different.
I'm sure they're on there. I'm
Okay.
sure they're on there.
I'll take a look.
I'll see if
Yes,
I can
believe
find
it or
to
not,
you, but,
Mary.
Mary, let you know.
Believe it or not, Mary, I didn't think of that. Okay. So it's so important that as a consultant, when we are looking at leadership, that we're learning. We're constantly learning. And we're going to be giving that assignment each week to listen to an audio. Did everybody listen to the audio from last week? Raise your hand. Okay. Did anybody learn anything?
I sent you the Tina's frozen. Tina is doing the how. Like how Tina is frozen. How Tina looks like the Indian.
Is anybody using this?
Oh. Yes, yeah, so make a.
That's
Oh, we
your
lost
time.
it.
Okay, y'all there?
Hey.
Somebody get a screenshot of that. Please tell me.
I
a
didn't.
screenshot of that.
I don't know what that was. I just told my family to stay off the internet if they can. I don't know why that would be.
Tina, this is what you looked like the whole time.
Okay.
Screen capped it.
Everybody do the Tina. How?
I did a screenshot.
Like an Indian. Little
So-
Indian. Yes.
Where did you send that to? Did I get that emailed or?
Yes, I emailed it to you just a little bit ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks
Okay,
a little
well, I'll take a
weird
look
the
at
way
that.
that it downloaded because I did it from
Yeah.
my iPad. So I can send you a prettier version if you need one.
I
I
don't.
just have to get on my
No,
computer.
it was fine. Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
good?
You
Okay.
can
All
tell,
right.
who
Sorry.
said what.
Okay, so what I want to know from who's on here is, what did you learn from that call?
That I need to do more than I'm doing.
Okay, well, that's a great start. What is there anything specific that you know that you could do, Mary?
I don't think anything besides what we've talked about. I've just got to get past my, and I'm not normally a very reserved person. So but that just, yeah, I see your face, Kim. So I but I do when I have to, I think I'm better with people in person than like actually reaching out and making a phone call. I'm not sure why that is, but so I've just got to get over myself.
Girl,
I think
I'm
that
right
I
there with
actually,
you.
yeah, I think that I actually am as well. I do a little better just walking up and connecting with someone than I do. It's because I see how they're responding, and when you're on the phone, you may not know exactly what they're in the middle of or what's going on, and we kind of read too much into all of that. So, Courtney, what about you?
That it's okay to ask questions, and that I can I just got to keep pushing forward. I'm kind of in the same boat as Mary, like where I'm not normally a reserved person, but when it comes to stuff like this, it's definitely not something that is in my comfort area. And so I have to get out of that comfort zone and ask people for parties or, to host and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Most of the time, you need to look at it as you're complimenting someone. Okay, so let's take when we're asking someone if they're interested in the business opportunity. I mean, when you're saying we have a lot of great ways to make money, whether you're doing cooking parties or whether you're doing virtual parties, there's so many ways to grow my team, and I thought of you. What that says is, I would love to work with you. I like you. So, yeah. I mean, that's really all it's saying. We just have to prepare ourselves for when someone says no, to come back with a graceful response and leave that door open, right?
Right.
And
I think it's hard for me too because of my age. Like I just feel, because I am younger, that a lot of my friends are still in college and everything like that. And so it's really difficult or in my mind anyways, it's really difficult to approach them and be like, okay, let's do this. And even though their schedules are very hectic. Right.
Courtney, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 25.
Okay, 25.
Oh, girl.
Let me just tell you, from somebody who's twice your age, okay? When I see a younger person trying to do good, to be successful, and they ask me to do something, I want to help them. And a lot of people my age and older feel the same way.
Okay.
So who's going to be offended by that?
Right.
So don't despise your youth, girl.
Courtney, I'm 23.
I was going to say, Nella's younger than you.
I know, and I always think about that, and it's so crazy. I always feel like I'm way younger than Nella.
Everyone thinks I'm so old.
No, it's not that. I just feel like my maturity level is not quite there.
It's because I got a baby.
No. I actually went to high school with Tina's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You went to high school with my daughter?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Kelsey.
But when I started, that was my thing, was I was afraid that people were going to be like, you don't know how to cook. You're too young.
Yeah, that's mine too.
It's different than what you think, because when you're at a party and there are older women there, they're like, oh my gosh, you know how to cook. You need to do a party for my granddaughter or my daughter. They don't know how to cook. So
right.
that's more of what it is than, I'm not going to listen to you. That's what I thought it was going to be, but
that's how I thought too. I mean, and my first party definitely wasn't like that, but it helped that my launch party was a lot of people that I grew up with and people in my church and stuff. So
yeah, it's not as hard as your brain makes it out to be. But
yeah, And this is for Mary, Nella, and Summer, or Mary and Nella for sure. At the last meeting, we talked about the belief in our company and the belief in what we, in our products and what we have to offer is the best thing that's out there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have joined. If you didn't feel that coming
Right.
into it, you wouldn't have joined. Reason that you obviously believed in it. So take that with you
Okay.
and share that in the confidence that you have, that we have the best thing. I mean, we have the best thing that's going right now. I'm gonna tell you, the 25-year-old group, that is the biggest trend in people cooking right now. It is the biggest trend. That's why all the youth stuff, everything looks very fresh and young, and all the pictures are of younger folks. And I know my 25. Are you
No.
married? I'm just kidding. Is he's single too? I'm just kidding. Sorry, I was having a little matchmaker thing right there on the. Okay, sorry. So anyway, is that you probably went as he did to a Friendsgiving. Like, did you go to a Friendsgiving?
I've been to one, but I did not go to one this last year.
Okay, so y'all all get together and cook.
Yes.
And so that is know in your heart that that's the biggest group right now that is cooking and getting in the kitchen, but doing it with other friends. So the whole party concept is exactly where you're at right now.
Okay.
It's
That
so
help?
true.
Yes, it does.
It's so true. But then you also need to remember that, people who are a little more mature want to get in on some of these trends, the clean eating and some of the things that the younger people are doing too. And so for you to step up and say, you have to believe, like Kim said, that you have something to offer every age group.
Okay.
And don't limit yourself,
I'm definitely learning that. So
It is part of the belief, and just knowing that you have something to offer every age group, everybody who eats.
yes.
Okay. So
Thank you.
let's talk about some of the things that we're going to implement this week. And this is out and about prospecting. And we talked a little bit, and I actually just jumped the gun on a few things, but there's no reason to wait. And that is keeping your business open. And that is truly being prepared wherever you go, and having the material with you, knowing what you're going to say to people. And that's a big part of out and about, because you can make a contact anywhere you go. Anywhere you go, you can start up a conversation with someone. Does anybody want to give any examples of what might have happened this week? Summer. I think Summer might have something to say.
A really great example. So I met this lady at Chick-fil-A, and I went to Chick-fil-A because I needed to meet new people so I could have more parties. So
Okay, whoa. Okay, so Summer, you went to Chick-fil-A
for the sole purpose of meeting people.
Okay, love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes, so we went for lunch. So I was there with all the other mamas that go for lunch to let their kids go play in the play place. And I have my little I take the mini catalogs and the customer care, or the thank you for joining us card. And I just hand them out with the recipe card. And I say, hey, I'm just giving out new recipes today. If you want to enter a drawing, just give me your contact information. So one of the ladies that I met at this particular day had her party what's today is Sunday, had her party Friday night. And the sales are $1,000 right now.
Woo!
Yeah, it's my biggest party. I've never had a party that big. She did
Oh, wow.
everything I told her to do. She had 15, I think it was at least 15 people there. I have to go back and count. Yeah, it was a full house.
Okay, let me just insert this. For those of you who are new, when you get outside of your family and friends, They
I don't
don't
know
know you. They're not related to you. You're not their, they just don't know you as anything but the Pampered Chef lady. They listen to you. They do what you say. Family doesn't always do that. Am I right?
They never do it.
I still don't like to do parties for my family. So as soon as possible, you've got to get out of those people that you know. So if you're doing a party for a family member, then say, I know that we're related to some of the same people. We know some of the same people. And of course we want them there. But who do you know that I don't know? So that every single party you do in the beginning, you are meeting new contacts. You're meeting new people. Okay?
I was, sorry. Go ahead, Nella.
I was
Tina,
gonna
we
tell
just
you-
got a pop-up saying we got 10 minutes on the meeting.
Okay, give me 5 minutes, Johnny, and then we'll close out and jump on the next one. Were you finished, Nella?
I was just gonna say that.
Summer, are you finished? Nellie, did you have one? Kim?
So I was working with one of my other new consultants, and we came up with the idea to get her out of her friends and family, that at her launch parties, that she give a prize to those people who brought, like they could go into a hat for a drawing for anybody who brought people that she did not know. And it was a pretty decent prize that she had an extra one that came in her kit. And so it was a really good idea. I was like, hey, that's a fabulous idea, is a way to get her and to tell them, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. So the more people you bring, the more entries you get into it. And it'll also keep me from asking you every single month to host a party or to buy product. And so that may be something that you can do, whether you're brand new. I don't think anybody's brand new. Probably Courtney's the newest is, but that may be a great way for you to, again, re-energize. I would encourage any of you on this to host a party in your own home and do that very thing. Like, hey, bring and offer it to some of those hostesses or premier guests that you have, to like bring people. And the more people they bring, they get an entry into a drawing for a pretty decent prize. I mean, I'd say a $20 or $30 prize, to get the interest up. So,
and let me just insert right there. Sarah and I had a conversation this week about consultants offering incentives. And, sometimes a home office will say that will devalue our host program, that what we give away is good enough and all that. But when you have a goal and you need specific things to happen at a specific time, we do whatever it takes. If we need to offer a gift to guests, offer something additional to hostesses for a specific purpose. We don't want to get in a habit of generally just giving our profits away, right? But when we have an intentional focus for something, then sometimes those things can be very effective. Yes?
yeah.
So we talked about you may have seen a conversation that Mary and I had, some others of you jumped in it, on the Facebook group about the mini catalog. But that is an official training on this call. So I want to go over that just a little bit. And what that does is it really, as a consultant, it gives you the courage to kind of step outside that box a little bit and talk about people a little bit easier. So the idea is that obviously you have to have mini catalogs, and the summer, the little summer information is all new, and you want everybody to know about those new summer products, right? So some of that information is great to order up and then have those. And I love, Summer went out to connect. You can take your kids or not, go to Chick-fil-A, go to the mall, go to the park, go to places that people are going to be hanging out. I know last year I took my grandson and we have a little fountain in Beaufort. and people just gather there, and there's just, kids running around and people talking and connecting anyway. So
can I interject
please.
one little thing? When I give it out, I try to do it before I start eating. So that way I can just give it to them, say, hey, if you want to fill this card out, just bring it over to me. And then I sit somewhere close. And that way I'm not like, okay, I've got to go. I'm not rushing them. They know that I just sat down to eat. I'm going to be there for a bit. They fill their card out at their convenience. So it's not like a hurry, give it to me sort of situation.
Yeah. So give them plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even just to sit and watch you eat and deal with your kids and see that you're not a total crazy. Yeah.
And wear something that makes you look official. Like that day, I couldn't find my Pampered Chef stuff, but I wore my Dr. Proctor t-shirt and, just something that makes you not look like a creeper or whatever.
Okay. So biggest tip of the night so far, don't look like a creeper.
Tina, we're down to 5 minutes.
Okay. Let's jump off on that note and take a minute, and we're going to come right back on here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.